Alright, so something I want to talk about today. You guys already know that on my channel I speak a lot about what my people need to do, what the black race as a whole needs to do about personal accountability about the things that go on in their city and in their neighborhood, right? One of the things that I'm always saying is, if you don't want police in your neighborhood to start being men of integrity, you understand? Stop selling drugs, stop carrying guns, stop breaking into houses, that sort of thing. But then there's a whole nother enigma on top of this, right? Which is police. Now, I'm somebody who's big on knowing your rights, knowing your constitutional rights, because that's what makes everybody here American, right? We got this constitution that a lot of other places don't have, right? Which is why this is one of the best places in the world. Now, if you don't understand your constitutional rights, a lot of times you'll lose them. You understand? It's like a muscle. You understand? If you don't exercise it and work it out every day, you'll lose it. And there's another flip side of people that actually do know their rights. You understand? They're very intellectually smart on their rights. There's a group of people who have sworn an oath to uphold your rights. You understand? These are supposed to be the peacekeepers, police. They swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't know the Constitution. You understand? I don't know how you're supposed to uphold something if you don't know it, and every chance you get, you seek to violate it. You understand? And there's many videos. I'm sure you can pull up one. I like to look at Audit the Audit. I think he's definitely a good person who breaks down how these laws work and the way police bend these laws to accomplish a goal. You understand? So I'm gonna just give you a quick scenario, right? I'm just in the area, okay? There was a crime saying I'm being suspicious, okay? The police come, right? And they're only coming based off of the fact that I'm being suspicious, so I haven't committed a crime. So they come. They start asking me, what are you doing here? Minding my business. Why are you here? What business do you have here? You know what I mean? Like, very just intrusive things that kind of are saying that I can't be anywhere that I want to be. You understand? If it's public, why can't I be there? You understand? Like, that's automatically off rip. You understand? They're responding to calls that are dumb instead of just letting the dispatcher know, is he committing a crime? Well, no, he's just being suspicious. All right. Well, until he commits a crime, there's nothing we can do. Until they do that, because until they do that, then you're just leading. You're causing a problem that's not there. You understand? You're causing a problem because you're trying to figure out what I'm doing or what I was planning on doing or anything. You understand? You're trying to be like future police. You understand? Instead of being a first responder, you understand, responding to the crime, you guys are trying to prevent the crime. You understand? You can't prevent the crime because you're not a mind reader. You're not nothing. You understand? If I'm just regular suspicious, now we're not talking about suspicious where I got a black hoodie on and a box full of tools and everything. Even though, you understand, that could be perfectly normal. These are things that just stack up, you understand, to make a police ask these questions. You understand? Anyway, so I say, I'm not doing anything. He says, I'm suspicious. Well, suspicion isn't a crime. He asks me for my name and information. I don't give him my name or information. Why? What's your name and information? Why do you need my name and information? He says, you don't have your ID on you? I said, why do you need it? He says, so I can identify you and understand who I'm dealing with. You're not dealing with anything. You understand? You're almost making a problem that's really not there, because I'm, like I said, once again, I'm not doing anything. So he goes, well, what's your date of birth? For what? You understand? Once again, why are you trying to get this identification from? Now, in his mind, I have disobeyed a lawful command 3 times. In my head, none of these were lawful commands, You understand? Because I wasn't doing nothing to begin with. You had no reason. And if you ask a cop, what's your reason? What's your reasonable suspicion? They're not obligated to tell you. You understand? So they could assume the worst, and this is where we're gonna go deeper and deeper. So once again, I'm not doing anything. Now he's saying, failure to identify. I'm asking them, am I being detained? You understand? How is it a failure to identify? You can't just identify a random person off the street. You can't just identify somebody just because they're suspicious. What am I doing? You understand? So he's saying it's failure to identify. But mind you, he's just skipping a whole bunch of steps. He's automatically just jumping to now I'm committing a crime. So since he didn't see me committing a crime, now he's just saying I committed a crime, right? So now he's saying it's failure to identify. He says I'm being detained. I don't understand what I'm being. He keeps telling me what I'm being detained for, but it's unlawful. You understand? It violates my constitutional rights. One, to not have to give you my information. Another one would be not to help you in any investigation that you got going on. Another one would just be, damn, I'm fucking American. What the fuck? What do you want? You understand? So, but it goes back down like I don't need to identify. You understand? Unless I'm committing a crime, then there's no reason for me to identify. But now you're saying that since I'm not identifying, that in itself is a crime. You understand? You're saying that since I'm not identifying, that now is a crime. You understand? And that's what you're detaining me for. You understand? So now I'm being detained. All the while, he's still trying to get my information. I'm telling him no. I'm telling him, can't give it to you. I don't want to give it to you. I'm not doing anything. Give me a supervisor. Right? Somehow or another, this has turned into now I'm obstructing a police investigation. What investigation over suspicion? Is suspicion a felony or a misdemeanor? You understand? And so while I go through the BS, and he's like, while they're threatening to arrest you, or they're threatening to pretty much take your freedom away for not doing anything. This is now, we're not even debating Constitution, because you're already past violating my Constitution. You understand? Now it's about how do I appease your ego so that you don't decide to violate me more. You understand? Because that's what it is. And then they'll always go like, well, see, if you would have just gave me your identification, none of this would have happened. So if I would have just violated my rights, none of this would have happened. What y'all saying? Hold on, I'm gonna go fix these doors real fast because they keep opening and closing. We're like working on this house. We're trying to build this crib, and it's taking a little bit, but slowly but steady. All right. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So now it's about appeasing your ego so you don't decide to violate any more of my rights. You understand? Because it's just nonsense, and they arrest you, right? They arrest you. You understand? Because now they're saying you're under arrest for obstructing, police investigation. Mind you, all of this could be wrong, but you don't argue it on the side of the road. You understand? There's no judge with them on the side of the road. They're just, now they're arresting me and putting me in a jail cell. You understand? They don't care I got work. They don't care about what my kids doing. You understand? They don't care about none of that stuff. You understand? They just put me in jail against my will. Now, when you get out of there for however long, you understand, and you beat the phony charges because you had to sit there and wait for a judge and a date if you couldn't bond out, which is a whole nother problem. So I'm sitting here waiting to prove my innocence because I know my rights. You understand? But mind you, while I'm in here, I'm losing everything on the outside because I'm not there. I'm not able to be there. They're still detaining me for something I'm not doing. I'm still arrested for something I'm not doing. I'm still in jail for something I didn't do. Now, everybody will say, well, why don't you sue them? Okay, let me let you know. Suing a police department is expensive. It's hard. You understand? And most of the time the cases aren't clear cut. You understand? So lawyers fighting it pro bono is also rare. You understand? Not saying it doesn't happen, it does. It happens a lot. But a lot of other cases go with no lawyers. You understand? Let's say 200 people were able to get a lawyer to file a suit. You understand? But then there's another 20,000 people who haven't. You understand? Who didn't? Who were just annoyed, just stressed. You understand? It's a lot of people who get their rights violated daily. And then you need to go through the bureaucratic system of the corruption. You understand? Now you need to go to the belly of the beast to fight this. You understand? Now you're out. You understand? You're out, and you want to sue these people. Well, now you need to get information, right, from the same people who already knew that they were violating your rights, all the way up to the superior they knew. So when you go to get forms, you understand, complaint forms and things of that nature, they sit there and they make you wait around for hours. You know what I mean? Until you're stressed and until you decide to leave. You understand? They'll make you jump through a million loopholes and a million things just to get this justice. You understand? So now you're dealing with the police bureaucratic paper pushing system. You understand? Where you can't talk to the people at the top unless you talk to the people at the bottom. You understand? And if the people at the bottom don't want you to talk to the people at the top, then now you gotta go through a million other steps, contacting the state's attorney and like all these certain things. You understand? Now you're trying to get in contact with these people. You're trying to do these certain things, and it's taking a lot of time, a lot of energy. You understand? You win the suit. Let's say everything goes well, right? You did all the steps that you took. It took a long time, but you're here. You're at the finish line. They gave you the check, right? You give your lawyer his cut, and now you're sitting there with your cut. Now say you win 100,000. But since the police have a budget so high, you understand? They have so much money, it doesn't hurt them. You understand? A cop could take a slap on the wrist. Don't do it again. You understand? He might get fired, but they'll just hire him at another police station or another police department. You understand? It's like I'm trying to operate lawfully in an organized gang. You understand? It's like I'm trying to follow the law, but this organized gang that's supposed to uphold the law doesn't want to do it. You understand? Cops have this no snitching on other cops. You understand? The blue veil of secrecy and all types of shit. I don't mean curse, but they have all this. They have all these things that stop, citizens from. It just stops the process. It makes the process so hard and so complicated that who would even want to deal with it? You understand? And it's like, and it's a lot more situations. You understand? You may think that my situation, the one I explained, is one I elaborated with. You understand? You may think that it's a little bit far-fetched. It's a lot of pieces missing. There are a lot of videos, and it records from A to B of people's rights being violated by these police. And when these people try to get justice for it, they either can't afford it, you understand, and they just let it go, and the cycle keeps happening. Police have this immunity that needs to be dismantled. The whole band of blue brothers needs to be dismantled. I'm not saying police are bad. I'm saying when you give a human, right? We failed creatures. You understand? We got good and evil in us, right? We sinners all the time. When you give a police officer so much power to the point where he's immune to consequences, what stops that person from 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 violating it? You understand? If they don't know the Constitution, what stops them from violating you because you do know the Constitution? I just watched a man get tased because he knew his rights. You understand? Why did these things happen? Oh, thank you. So these are just the things that that I want to bring up and let people honestly understand. Understand, how are we supposed to fight a complete system that doesn't want you to succeed and they just want to have power over you? You understand? As much as I tell black people to follow the rules and don't fuck up, well, these people are not following the rules, and we're paying them to follow the rules. We're paying them to know the Constitution. We're paying them to defend our rights, which is the dumbest thing in the world. So if a cop has a gun and I legally own a gun, and a cop pulls his gun out while I'm not doing anything wrong, and now puts my life in jeopardy because he says I'm doing something wrong, but my constitutional rights overpower any of his nonsense, what am I to do? You understand? Am I supposed to be shot dead? Am I supposed to defend myself? You understand? Shoot first. You understand? He has a gun out on me. What am I supposed to do? Why do you have a gun on me? I'm not doing anything. You understand? So if I shoot first, then what happens? You understand? I go into the prison system. I get beat on by guards and all this other stuff daily. You understand? All because he wanted to violate my rights and I wanted to stay alive. This is why they have too much power. There's no consequences for the things that they do, the same way that there's consequences for us. Just because you uphold the law does not mean that you're above the law. And when more people understand that and stop just going behind everything police say, and just stop worshiping them so much. You understand? These people are flawed individuals. I want my neighborhood to be safe as anybody else. But if we're putting evil people, or if we're putting bad people, or people who don't know how to do their job effectively, then we're just making the problem worse. You understand? That's all I gotta say. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check out the next video, because I'm talking about a lot of things that we're going to be doing moving forward. As you guys see, we're building this place up right now, and then on the next video I'll go into a lot of what me and my friends are doing, to actually affect change in this nation. All right, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media at UPK 500, and thanks for your time.